right. Hello. We are here. Slightly delayed, but that's all right. Welcome to episode 5 of our Apocalypse World second edition game here on Actual Play. I'm your Ash. I'm your host Ash. I've been GMing or MCing the series so far. It's she/her pronouns, and I'm pretty hyped to see how we go today. As far as kind of seeing how some of these things develop and potentially wrap up. And we can do some introductions. Starting with Sydney. You're muted, mate.
Yeah, but
Yep. It mutes you on the StreamYard when you come in like this. My name is Sydney Chris. It's a pleasure to be here. My pronouns are they, them. I'm an RPG descriptivist and structuralist, and I am here to play Lockheed. Lockheed is a savvy head who is kind of contributing some of the weird psychic maelstrom-y stuff around at the moment. And I'm looking forward to watching that collapse at our feet.
It's going to be interesting to see. Like, yeah, there is definitely a lot at Lockheed's feet, especially right now. So that's going to be fun. Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. Use he/him pronouns. Playing Seth, the Maestro D. I run a site called Intelligame where, I should say I run a stream, except I haven't streamed in like months, but I will again one day. Yeah, like any good podcast on hiatus. Saf is the Maestro D who is watching the world fall further and further out of his control. And yep, it's going to be an interesting episode 5.
Absolutely. Andrew.
I'm Andrew. He's they, them, and I will be playing Wolf, the gunlugger.
Sick. And yeah. Do y'all want to tell me what happened last time? Because I have my notes, but it was a lot.
It's a hard one to grab the thread of this one. I will say that we gathered in Saf's place where we were prepared to have like some internal resolution, and the no status quos of Apocalypse World had a different opinion, and Saf's staff are like embroiled in something, involved in something. They are distinctly intertwined, and perhaps even in Toyota's case, leading a form of actually, I don't know what motivates them at all. I know only that they are like zealots about it. I do not know about what they are zealots or what they are trying to achieve by it yet.
Yep. Saf went out and still being shocked at Gams's murder, tried to be tough in trying to get his staff back in the kitchen, but they weren't having it, and neither was the crowd. So Saf returns to the establishment, and I think as the voices of the crowd and whatnot ramped up outside, Wolf and Lockheed decided to go out and take a stab at things.
Yeah, and it didn't go much better. There was a strategy of appeasement that was pursued, and we're now on the clock to have Lockheed solve everything, or these people will riot, and then I guess I'll have to kill them all. Which I'm ready for, but I don't know if they're ready for it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I would think that we did have one other scene at the end there with Saf, but I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't want to, because that was definitely, I remember coming back to Saf at the end of it. But my memory is pretty terrible at the moment.
Yeah, I remember the. I remember the. Yep, there was the big discussion about the trying to figure out how to. I feel like I feel like I remember it wrapping with the. It was like there was some sort of discussion about a thing to get. We were still trying to figure out what the thing was in the sky.
Yes, yeah, yep. That was the thing that Lockheed was embroiled in.
Right.
Shall we do our highlights for the week and jump into it and see where it goes?
Mhm.
Sounds good to me.
Who's got their highlights?
I'm gonna toss it to Lockheed this time.
Andrew, I
Mhm.
would like to highlight your weird. What is your weird's number?
I have a +2 in weird.
Oh, even better. Even better. Let's see it.
Cool.
And you
What
can
about you,
still.
Ash?
It's session 5. Andrew, I'm going to highlight your hard.
Okay.
That's a problem-solving combination if I've ever seen it.
Yep, I'm ready.
Yep. Lockheed, who's got yours?
Mine is Saf.
Weird sounds good. It's episode 5.
It's great.
Um, I'm going to highlight your heart. Just because I think there's the off chance that you might need it.
Yeah.
Josh, who's got yours?
Wolf.
Yeah, we'll just highlight the high stats for everyone. So I'll give you your hot highlighted.
Okay.
I would like to succeed in this stage.
Yeah, the dice did not seem to be interested in that last session.
It was a bit of a
Mhm.
struggle. So.
I'm going to go hard for Saf as well, even though that's... Oh, wait, no, you have the thing that means that when you go aggro, it's something else, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got, when I go aggro, I roll plus cool instead of plus
So
hard.
let's highlight your cool. Then because that gives you the opportunity to do both go aggro and other things. So
Okay.
Ash, did you highlight something for me, or did I lose that? I didn't tick it, and I cannot remember.
You're hot.
pardon?
I hot.
I haven't ticked
Oh yes,
anything.
you did. No, you did. You sorry. Yes, you did say hot. Thank you.
My allergies are a little bit of a problem today, but that's all right. If I start randomly sneezing, I apologize. So, do we want to? I suppose first we do have to ask the questions of upkeep.
Yeah.
Saf, I think you're still good because you've got your you have plenty to cover you, but I think we are down to needing to answer some questions around upkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can still pay. I've got one barter left.
I also have one left, and I think I will spend it to keep momentum.
All right, and we're happy to spend that barter.
Yeah.
Cool. All right then. So given where we left off last time, Sydney, where do we want to take it? Do we want to do we want to head like do we want to cut to the workshop? Or do you want me
Yeah,
to
I'm
or
trying
do
to
you want me
remember
to give you
what I committed to with them. The commitment was, because I remember the statement was like, you're all rubes. Like this is it's a lie. You've been misled. And then was there a commitment to action, or was it?
So it was that like you were going to make the radio tower.
That's right. That was my 7 to 9 on
thing,
the
right?
on the manipulate there. Right? Was I had committed that I will build it. I'll show you all that you've been fooled. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can head to the workshop, but the situation hasn't meaningfully changed, right? Which is that
No,
from the previous workplace workshop role, workshop move, that I'm missing a send receive transmitter that is like absent, right? And we don't have a lead on where to get it, although I did make the barter move to generate that lead, and I think we haven't seen that resolve yet.
Oh no, sorry. If you want that thing, then you can that is a thing that you can go to the Union Boys for.
Okay, cool.
Because the
Cool.
butter move tells you it gets you, if I'm correct, like when you made that butter move, it was for information.
Yeah. It's I believe it's when you want something. I don't think it's, and then there's a roll, and I 10 plussed it, and it says, let me
Yes,
find the move, and we'll go through the text.
yes, but my understanding was that when you made that, it was for information about Never Sleeps.
I think you're right, actually. I think you're right on that. And I didn't. Yeah.
Which is why
absolutely.
Gams showed up to your place.
Yep. Well, cool. All right. Is this
But you also
Well-
know that if you need
if you need high tech shit, the place to
if
go.
you need high tech shit, the two places you
Yeah.
can go are you can go into the graveyard yourself, or you
Mhm.
can go and ask or you can try and get it off of the Union Boys.
Yeah, I mean, I think let's head there then. That'd be. I don't think I have anything before that. I head
Yeah.
to the Union Boys and see if they've got it. We'll see what they've got.
It's dark and there are like flickering oil oil lamps around keeping things lit.
Mm-hmm.
The smell of sooty oil burning to keep the place lit and flickering.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you? I assume that usually you get things from your own junkyard.
Yeah.
How much interaction, how much commerce do you usually do with Union Boys? Like, do they usually come and get things from you and you get things from them, or is it usually we keep to ourselves?
I think that we have trades, but we don't have like a trade agreement, so like we have had individual discussions about trading things, but we don't have like a standing, you do this for me and I'll help you in the future kind of thing. There's no relationship to it. because it's rare that I have something that they want that they can't get elsewhere, and it's rare that they have something I want that I can't get elsewhere.
Cool. So, like, yeah, I think when you rock up, most like a few of them are still there, but most of them are not. Not in the workshop area. Most of them are clearly off in the like living quarters of their little of their converted warehouse building.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Wisher is actually the one that that you kind of bump into outside as you're like approaching. And you can see Wisher still has those like the extra dirty, extra like you both have those injured hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the various nicks and cuts and bruises and things. But Wisher looks definitely you don't have the same gauntness to you that Wisher has at the moment. That same sort of the same level of rundown. And yeah, Wisher almost like winces away like a dog struck a couple times, just noticing that someone was like unexpectedly in his personal space.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that he's got a plastic bag, like an old plastic bag full of a bunch of components that he's off to do something with.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask? I Lockheed would feel a lot more comfortable if I was bringing Wolf with me.
Yeah,
And
right. That's the thing.
yeah,
How much of your retinue is in tow?
Well, Wolf will be happy to come along.
cool. Saf, is this something you'd like to join us for?
I mean, does it make sense for me to be there? I don't want to. I want to assist the movement of the scene in whatever way possible. So if it feels like it would make sense that I'm there, I think Saf would be happy to come along. Probably has, yeah.
Yeah, I think Lockheed would definitely invite you along on the comment that like this like Toyota's your problem, and like this is by proxy your problem, and that it is both beneficial to you and also it is your responsibility to help resolve this.
Yeah, I think Saf is yeah, perhaps still bruised physically and a little bit by ego, but is interested in yeah,
Rad.
keeping hold of what it can. So yep.
I think the one thing is that like anytime that Saf is not in the establishment right now, it is not open and running, right? Because you do not have the staff currently to have it be doing anything while you're not there. So that's the only like caveat I will throw in that.
Okay, should I?
Your choice.
I just can't tell whether I'm supposed to be taking a direction that says, "Hey, actually, you should stay back." I'm just like I'm trying to assist the. Okay.
Definitely come along.
It is a choice being presented, right? I am so like there's not a you should do this or do that. It is a like this is there is a cost to be paid for everything at this point.
Sure.
So yeah, I think the three of you can and that kind of lends even more sort of like shyness to Wishes sort of dodging away when you appear. You can hear off in the living quarters and like social area. You can hear the like most of the other union blokes kind of like having conversation and like we hear a bit of laughter and whatnot. But out here in like the dark outside of that, The shadows are pretty long. So yeah, but yeah, Wisher kind of looks up to at the three of you, and kind of is trying to work out which one of you is the which one is the one who's here to deliver the beating.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there's some professional familiarity between us in this fairly small community, and Lucky just like gives an eyebrow raise and says, "We're here to buy."
You want some, and like tries to like very obviously knows that that you've seen that he's like holding shit and whatnot, but does kind of like move in such a way that it is that like you have less clear view on the stuff that he's got. It's like, oh, business, of course, yes. Well, I can't remember which voice I was using for Wisher, so this will do it. Yeah, no, because we weren't hearing much of the last time. But yeah, like, oh well, then I will happily. You can talk to Jakabaka. I'm sure he is happy to do business with you at whatever hour you would please. And I think starts to like goes and opens the door for you to like let you in.
Let's open with Lucky like casting eyes around, like Wishes quiet.
He's being extremely
this
shifty.
is odd. Yeah, this is odd from him, and I don't consider myself a threat to him, and so like I think this is that thing of like it's not the person I'm concerned about here, it's the sitch that I'm reading. Like what is going on here, not what is going on with Wisher.
Absolutely. Do you want to roll that? I mean, that's what I was trying to push you into. So.
Yeah. Unless anyone's no one highlighted sharp, did they? No one wants to steal XP for this?
Nope, you go ahead.
Well, let's see how we go.
Badly.
Bam! Full miss. Full 6. Procedural. On a miss, ask one anyway. Prepare for the worst.
I do love that as the -6. Like,
yeah,
it's not you don't get information. It's
and it's the beauty of the way that all the questions are written, that there's also a bad answer to all of them. You know, which enemy is most vulnerable to me? None of them. Like a great and that's a thing clear in text too. But yeah, I think the question is, what should I be on the lookout for? Which is a great one to ask when you've got 10 plus. It is a horrid one to ask with the 6, but hey, that's where we are.
I think the thing that you become kind of aware of is that right now, in this moment, like, you've managed to like stumble into a very pivotal moment for the Union Boys. Wisher is currently quite scared of Jakabaka in a way that they're like everyone always is, but like more so than usual. Wisher is doing something wrong, right? Wisher is stealing, and
Nice.
The chances that what you want are the thing in the bag are pretty high. But you have this thing of like, oh right, like I like Wisher is scared of Jackabacca,
Mhm.
but you can't lay a hand on because then you need to be scared of Jackabacca, right?
Yeah. The complexity of this is the political complexity.
It's the political element. You're like,
I
so the
have
fact that the fact that it is suddenly complex is the thing that is the problem.
Yeah, rad. So I'm going to interpret what should I be on the lookout for here, personally, as I should be on the lookout for other people. Because while ever it's just us and Whisper, we have leverage. And as soon as
Yes,
other people get involved,
absolutely
it's a
that.
spies, right?
Absolutely
So
that. You should be on the lookout for anyone who's going to like get Jackabacca involved in any way.
Yeah. Yeah, as the door is opened, I look to Wolf and I say, would you mind getting the door for us? It'd be a shame for our negotiation to be interrupted.
Yeah, so she like doesn't go in and just stands outside, acting as the bouncer, I guess.
Cool. I just take a step forward, just like moving from that like familiar zone into the intimate zone on Wisher.
Yeah. And like you catch like Wisher like breathing, like Wisher's got that like that wheeze on the inhale that you catch, that is very much a person who is Wisher's always been like so like very hail um like might be old, might be decrepit, doesn't go down.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
oh wait, no, this is the end of the wick for Wisher at the moment.
Yeah. As I move into that like position where I'm close and able to like touch the things in his arms, soften my voice and say, hey, there's no need to be worried, Wisher. I wouldn't want to get Jackabacca involved in something like this. After all, you're the smart one around here. You know how these things work. And as I say these things, I reach forward to like pick one up. How does that go over? Like reaching into the pile?
I mean, yeah, I think unless you're making a move, he's gonna like shift so that you can't make the touch.
Yeah.
He's gonna try and keep it looking casual.
Yeah. Okay, and it's like talking to a horse for the first time, right? Hey. Don't worry. Hey, it's me. You know, like it's not naming like all of the, it's not Bean, it's not whichever warlord was, deposed elsewhere, somewhere else. It's not Jackabacca. It's just me.
I think mentioning
And
Bean gets a specific reaction
Mhm.
enough that like you can tell that that's where he was going.
Yeah, rad.
Right, like it's enough of it. Like he's got no poker face right now.
And I think what I'm trying to hit here is I'm trying to manipulate here.
Yeah, so do some manipulate
And
sounds like the move.
and I'm explicit here. Tell him what you want him to, give him a reason. I want him to like stay here and have a conversation with me and engage with this.
Yep.
And like let me see what he's got. And the reason is I'm not threatening to you, but I can like, this is a safe space. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have
Everyone else is threatening, so why?
Yeah.
So you should probably.
That's why I put Wolf outside. I didn't, Andrew. Wolf is a grown girl and she can do what she wants. And
Yeah, well, I don't want to throw this off by scaring anyone.
I mean, I'm rolling my -1 so I can mark XP here. But yeah, that's another miss. Anytime you want to step in and take lead here, Josh, too, like feel free. I'm just going to keep whiffing rolls until someone else is in charge. But
Something tells me that we're all going to be whiffing rolls. But I mean, I'll let this play out. But I did anticipate that I might step in after this point.
I mean, yeah. So like, yeah, Wisher is immediately, like you mentioning Bean, gets even more jumpy and is like, and immediately tries to like redirect your attention back to Jakabaka. You've got business with Jakabaka. You're here to do that. I don't want to get in your way. Like very obsequious sort of like, I'm not important, and so therefore you shouldn't be like you shouldn't be wasting your time with me. You should be going and dealing with the proper business thing, and starts to try and like and starts to like physically position so that being out of the way means that he can run when he needs, like as soon as you turn to go and do the thing that you're presumably going to do and go and talk to Jakabaka, he can bolt.
Yeah, and I would say that as that's going on, staff is slowly repositioning themselves and in between the door, and it's like, no, look, this is that I appreciate when people try to, as much as I love somebody trying to take from my playbook, honestly, like you are, this is you're right, like it's there's a lot of complicated people out there and a lot of big deals to take care of, but I think Lockheed was right. Like you're here for a reason. You're the one that we want to, you're the person that we want to deal with, to not take care of, but to take care of us, obviously, like you're out here all by yourself, like you must have some kind of trust from the rest of your, from the rest of the Union boys, and maybe if you just stick around and talk with us a little bit, we can make it worth your while. And yeah, I think I am also trying to roll hot in this situation to essentially just re-roll what Lockheed rolled. But like, is that a thing I can do, or do I have to come up with a new thing?
So here's the thing: you're having that conversation. Wolf Tao stumbles out into the work area, so like immediately has like, and like you are just blocking the sight line of that conversation, so Tao can't see that conversation happening, can see you standing in the door, and like Tao is very clearly drunk, and steps in being like, where the fuck did Wisher go? And like looks up and is like, oh, big dog's here, all right.
Big
dog. And like starts very drunkenly trying to like, can't work out if he's like, Tower doesn't know in his head, in his like drunken state, whether he's being friendly or aggressive at the moment.
Right. Yeah, it's that ambiguous state. Cool. So I have to deal with this, huh?
And like on the other side, Wisher like is now electric, right? As soon as because now like has heard Tao yelling. So, but what are you doing, Wolf?
Yeah, so I think she'll like cross the distance between herself and Tao with like a couple, like quick strides, and just says, like gets in close in just to feed into this ambiguous "Are we friends or are we going to kill each other?" energy, and just says, "Yeah, yeah, I'm here to see your big dog.
I have
Where's Jakabaka?"
I have a small question. Does is this does Wolf react to being called Big Dog at all? Dog is one of the one of the or worse potentially in the span of names. This might just be a space where like I'm like I don't know, like maybe these people have access to, but
Like, is it cool that they
is
just said
it
that?
right? Like, is it right?
It's definitely not cool. That's part of why she's like, I will happily stab this person to death also for calling me that. There's like, she's like right on that tipping point, I think.
Yeah, like
Um,
doesn't even recognize that he's said a thing that is yep.
yeah, she's like brimming with potential violence at the moment. But also is like, I'm gonna just like take this problem somewhere else so that it doesn't interfere with what y'all are doing. So yeah, she like asks him, yeah, where Jakabaka is.
Yeah. And Tao's like, all right. I'm not gonna get you. I'm not here getting you away. You seen Wish around?
Who?
And yeah, Tao's like, is like, yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Fucking useless. And starts to like escort you out to the back to see Jakabaka.
Great.
Cool, wonderful. Was that a thought, Andrew?
Yeah, do we want to follow Wolf out to
Yeah.
this interaction with Jakabaka or go back to what's going on with Wisher? Because I have a thought too that maybe there was an opportunity, because obviously like we don't re-roll a given thing, but was there still a window maybe for Saf to like help Lockheed and get them over the edge there?
Yeah,
If we
into
got
the
plus
7 to
one,
9.
it would be a 7 to 9.
Yeah,
Mm.
so that's a great point. Is that the thing that you could do rather than re-rolling is to roll the help roll with your so that's rolling plus history with Lockheed.
Okay.
And then yeah, we can deal with my whole situation after they've ruined their lives over there. Yeah.
Cool. Sick.
Yay!
So yeah, I think you go to be social, Saf, and then like you don't have the composure to not like look to see what the source of the noise is. When Tao starts yelling, and Wisher absolutely takes that opportunity and starts to bolt. He's an old dude. He is not fast, but he is doing his darnest, and you can see he's heading straight for the uphill towards, which is like the direction of Bean's compound. But yeah, like if you wanted to, like it would not be a roll to go and like physically grab him, but he is, and I think if it weren't for the fact that Tao is now like leading Wolf away, Tao would be able to hear the sound of like the of someone running, but it has Wolf talking to them, so like that kind of covers that. But yeah, what do you do? What do you do as he makes a break for it?
Your call first, my friend.
Oh, okay.
You can also hear this conversation inside, right? Of like
Yeah.
Wolf
yeah.
is going to be taken to Jakabaka, so you could be followed in on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna try and go after him, but like quietly. Like he's not moving super fast. This feels a little to me more like one of those like Mary and Pippin are trying to go and get it. Like, no, come back here, you know. And so like like so I feel like
Great
it's like, no,
touch.
where are you going? Like, and tries to go and get him, but quietly to make sure that he's not like pulling the extra attention. Which feels like, you know, trying to do something under a certain type of tension, kind of under fire, maybe
Yep, it certainly
somebody
does.
would
If
call
you,
that.
yes, absolutely.
One could perhaps call
Yeah,
that fire under which you are under.
under
I
and
love
that
that.
I'm under it maybe. So
Jo-
Yep.
okay.
Josh,
So
you are
A
so
flame one might
excellent
be beneath.
at Apocalypse Orb.
all right. So that am I at 5 already? I just did a level last time. Did I not reset
Maybe
my
you didn't
experience?
clear it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you're playing hard, then yeah. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
or
Maybe.
did you have a? Did you? Were you waiting to?
I think
choose
maybe.
your
I'm-
I think. Yeah. I think maybe I. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're
I'm
good.
also not infinitely far off, so maybe.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe. Because I
Yeah,
feel like we did actually
if you're just
use
playing
our
hard,
soul.
then yeah.
Yeah, and that was why I got my ass kicked last time. So,
Heck yeah.
sure. All right. Well, let's see.
Signs of life.
And if I
So,
did,
like,
it's just ridiculous that if I did not have the +1, that would be our 4th 6.
Yep.
As if the 3 in a row were not damning enough already, but
hmm
it's fine.
So, like, you managed to not make a huge ruckus, but you do, but like, it does require you like leaping and tackling an old man to the ground, right? He smells like cigarettes and glue, and like you're definitely getting a like a residue and a pow and like a you're getting the soot onto you as you do it, but yeah, I mean, you're rolling around and eventually end up in the situation where you have Wisher pinned to the ground.
And so I think I'm like, where are you going? Like there was no reason to take off like that. And as I'm like keeping my hand over his mouth to like keep him quiet a bit, I'm also checking the bag, because I'm imagining that he's been very shifty about trying to keep this bag safe or secret. So I'm like, what is in here that you seem to be so worked up about?
Lockheed, what's your movement?
Oh, look. Here's the deal, Ash. Here's a deal I'll cut with you. I'm torn between whether Lockheed is like, Wolf will look after herself. I can focus on this, or whether Lockheed's like, if I let Wolf go in there, a bunch of people are gonna get deadified. Like So I think I'm going to be emotionally torn, and I'm going to seek guidance from the universe. I would like to open my brain to the psychic maelstrom about this particular question.
All right.
Should
Okay, not
I
Imbreglia.
support my yes? I'm wide awake and I
Yeah.
can see. So
All
maybe
right.
that's a 9. I'll take a 9. I think I take good information. Is that the word that uses? Something new or interesting, or new and interesting about the current situation. You can give me an impression.
Mm. Um. What does opening your brain look like for you at the moment?
It is.
Because there is a lot of like machinery in this warehouse, if it's related to that. But
Yeah.
but there's also
That's
there's also
good.
the flickering lamplight. There's the weirdly, the sky seems very deep this evening.
Yeah, so I'll do the internal bit first, and then I'll paint the room around that, which is, I think, internally, this is Lockheed. Very obviously, like their body is positioned in such a way that they could like break in either direction for the door or for Whisper and Saf, and there's that like back and forth rocking motion of like which way am I going, and I think that Lockheed is actually pretty poor at making decisions under tension, under crisis. The one time, yes, exactly, Josh, soccer goalie Lockheed. The one time that Lockheed has like been under crisis or been under time pressure and immediacy pressure on screen, they shot someone. So like, I think it's pretty usual that Lockheed doesn't flourish in demanding situations. And so they're like, back and forth, and as like their head turns and their body shifts weight on each foot, that like rhythmically aligns with the flickering of the oil lamp, and it has like a visually like a strobing effect, right? Where like Lockheed is kind of like in one position and then in another, and in one position and another, and without any like decision making tools, without a decision making framework, their brain just like soaks in whatever is in here and like humming off these
Cool.
electronics.
Yeah. So, because I'm not going to just give you an augury, this way is good, this way is bad. I think you are looking one direction, looking the other, looking right back and forth. You see Saf leap into the air and tackle Wisher to the ground. In your mind, you hear dozens of matchsticks breaking as like Wisher goes down.
Yeah.
But that line of like that eye line vertically, you like there is the situation you have now is Wisher and Saf in front of you a little further down the road. Further up, like up the hill, is the compound, and you can see like some of the like a couple of the lights from that compound. And then just above it, in the sky, are a series of lights. There are 5 lights in the sky, just hovering there above Bean's compound. They like if you weren't in this space, you would have just been like your brain wouldn't have interpreted them as anything other than stars.
Yeah.
But like there are lights in the sky.
Yeah. Oh look, whoops. Indeed, a big dog. She will be able to look after herself. And if that means that she cuts her way out, that's fine. I am hesitant around the balance of power that giving Bean what he needs, because that's why we're not under like this autocratic rule of a warlord here, right? Because there's 2 of them and they balance each other at least in like some delicate way. So, take off at like a soft jog up toward the injured Whisper.
Cool. Wolf, yeah, Tal leads you into the social area. It's a worksite mess. There's they've got their own little supply of like they've got some of the packs of food and rations that are elevated by the cooking at so they're just kind of eating the rations straight. They have but yeah, there are drinks going around, and as soon as you step in, like it goes silent, right? It goes from like social and like laughing and whatnot to like everyone being like quiet, looking in your direction, and then Tao like is like, look what I found! Look what I found wandering around, and then like make some like crass joke that like no one laughs at. But yeah, no, Jakabaka spots you come in, and then smiles with a twinkle of like, this is just like made things go my way, and like just silently gestures for you to come like sit with him.
Sure, this can only end well. And Wolf is not sure how much time she needs to buy, so she's just like, okay, I will go.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Jakabaka, like you head up, and like the conversation starts to pick up. Like I think Jakabaka gives the signal for the conversation to like the rest of the conversation to continue. And yeah, Jakabaka's is like, well, if it isn't Wolf, right? Like chooses not to use anything other than like your most formal version of your name that he knows. You are absolutely the person that I am most happy to see. It has been a rough couple of days for our little community, and I'm glad that there are people who have a head on their shoulders around to keep things in order.
And she, like, as she's sitting down, it's like, oh, is that what I'm doing? Keeping things in order.
Yeah, as it's, well, I think that you are certainly someone who can contribute towards order or towards chaos if you choose. I would like to make you an offer, though. I know that you do good work if there's good scratch around.
Yeah, and she just like nods.
Yeah, and like I think he kind of like tries to like attempts to draw you in close, but I don't know how much that's a thing that is doable given the way that Wolf tends to move. But like there's definitely a thing of like trying to open up, like create that positive body language. And yeah, you've done such such good work around here. Really appreciate your assistance dealing with what was the name of Bean's money counter?
I forget.
Doesn't matter.
Now.
Helping with that little situation.
Many people, Ash. I can't keep them.
Yeah, helping with that little situation up at the compound. but I'm sure you've seen how much of a problem these new people in town have been causing.
Too many of them.
It's a problem for me, my boys. We're expecting some. We're expecting some. What's the word? We're expecting some commerce sometime in the next few days, and it's not going to happen if the town's like this. We're not going to. That's not going to be possible. So I'm wondering if maybe your talents can be put to use, not only as a very skilled and precise individual, but one who holds a certain amount of, who creates a certain aura. That maybe if dealing with one or two people might cause the rest of these motherfuckers to clear out.
A couple bullets in the right place might solve things. Yeah.
That was my thinking precisely. You know, I don't like to be too. I don't like to micromanage. I like to let people solve problems the way they do. But if we can do our business cleanly and without being bothered by these freaks, then I'll make sure there's a cut of it for you. I don't want to see another one of those fucking tents. I don't want to see another one of I don't want to hear anyone talking about fucking angels. I don't want to hear anyone talking about salvation. No fucking Uberimus Nimbus bullshit. I want them gone.
She just shrugs. I think I know who to take out then.
I think you probably do.
What do I do if I see your boy Wisher out there?
And like he looks around and like for the first time it's occurred to him that Wisher is not here. Where the fuck is Wisher? And like some gears turn for a second. And like, do you want to do anything in that moment while he's working it out?
No, it's way funnier for him to work it out.
Yep, cool, excellent. So yeah, he slams down his hands on the table, looks at Towers like, and like roars, "Where the fuck is Wisher?" Like, very clearly, this is a thing that Tao was supposed to be managing, right? Like, and then just is like, and is like, "I'm gonna deal with you." To the rest of them, fucking find him.
At this point, Wolf speaks up and just says, "No. I'll take care
of it." Whatever he's got on him is our commerce is reliant upon. If I don't have that, you don't get paid.
What about him? You need him?
If an old dog dies in the forest, none of my business. Pardon the language. No offense.
Yeah, and she just kind of shrugs that off. Yeah, well, you all enjoy your festivities, and I'll be out sorting things out. You don't need to worry.
You want a couple of boys to come help you out?
And she makes like a face, ugh.
Yeah. He's like, I understand you are consummate professional. And yeah,
And she just says like she will put a little salt in the wound and just say, "Yeah, they're in no state to help anyone out, anyways. Keep having fun." And she like has
he looks
stood up at
around
this
and they're
point.
like, and kind of was like, yeah, fair enough. And then goes and like physically grabs, like while you're on the way out, physically picks Tao up and goes to handle Tao for
Mm.
having misplaced Wisher. But I think we cut back to Lockheed. You had an insight, but we didn't see kind of where you went on it.
Yeah.
Do we cut to you like joining this little tussle, or
Yeah. So I like walking up. I said that like takes off at a soft jog, and that like slows as I get close. And like I'm not running to help out my mate Saf who's in a fight because like Saf's gonna be fine. I am not gonna be helpful in that. That's gonna resolve itself. And so I like approach them slowly at a walk. Wondering if they've resolved their differences and if that's if it's all taken care of.
Yeah, I figure at this point, like I said, we took him down and was like, "What is it that you seem really in a hurry to get up the hill with this little mystery package here? I wonder what could be in here." And because I don't have the insight, so I don't know. And so yeah, I think I I'm gonna try and take the bag from him and open the bag, but I don't know if there is I don't feel like there's necessarily a. Is it? I don't. Is it? I guess it does. It feel a little aggro to take the bag. I feel like I've
you can
already
just take the bag
tackled
off
this
him? You can
man.
just
I
do that.
was
You don't
like, I
need to
feel
roll
like I
for
don't
it.
have to. I was like,
You
it's
don't
like,
have to
please
roll
don't
for
make
that.
me inadvertently break this man's arm or something. Like he's suffered enough already.
Yeah. No. No.
So yeah. So
You
I think I take
you
the
are in
bag
a
and open it
position
up.
of power. The only problem is that you had to be physical to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like Wisher is not going to be your friend right now.
Sure. That's okay. Yeah. But yeah, so I take the bag and
He
open
calls
it.
you a series of
and-
terrible words.
Nah, I've been called worse. Yeah. It's like he's just upset, and it's fine. So yeah, take the bag and open it. Is there anything in the bag other than
Bunch of
what I assume is in
machine
the
and technology parts.
bag? Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna hold it up and be like, "There's a bunch of tech in here."
Yeah, there's a bunch of tech everywhere. It's and like I grab the bag, start like filtering through it.
If
This is a fucking
you're
gold mine.
welcome.
Yeah.
Like,
Rad.
do I? Yeah, I don't know necessarily how. Like, I would imagine that like Saf has a sense that there is value in this bag, but doesn't understand how it's valuable.
Mhm.
Like, obviously, because I mean, this kind of thing would be worth barter anyway. But I'm kind of under the impression that like, so I think I'd be asking like, what is there anything in there? What is he in such a hurry to take up the hill?
Yeah, and I think like I'm in a similar position, right? Which is like, yeah, this stuff will all be worth something. The real question is who can you trade it to? Because everyone wants different stuff.
Right.
But like, and then as like we see what is in it, I think you notice Lockheed's
So like
position.
Lockheed, you would know that like one of the things that this town runs on is the fact that the Union Boys trade this tech stuff to like merchants who come through town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like Saf would be familiar with that as well, because like those are the ones that like Saf then also buys food from them as well, right? Like, so think of like people coming through town occasionally and trading stuff. So like that's the normal commerce of this town.
Mhm.
And so like you're used to like what the kinds of things that are being sold. They're usually like simple mechanisms and stuff that can be like really easily adapted into like different bits that are good for multiple purposes, right? Like things that you could use for multiple things.
Yeah.
This bag has probably months worth of the most valuable components that have been like Wisher must have been hiding and stealing the most valuable bits for a while that haven't been traded or whatever. Any of the parts that you that like not only are the parts that you would need for making the radio tower here, there's also like microcontrollers that are like well preserved and like optics and things like that. Like this is all of the bits where they're where it's like, oh, you can't make do with something else. This is a bag of
Yep.
those.
Yep. Yeah. Rad. Yeah. Whistle and say specialist shit, Saf. This is the kind of stuff you're going to get when you've got a shopping list. That's a weird thing that does not exist in a post-apocalypse, right? The idea of a shopping list. This is the only thing you
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah, right. This is this kind of thing you only take if you're looking for something specific. Whisper, like I'm talking about him like he's not here, either has a specific customer in mind or is looking to make himself very uniquely valuable.
And so I like, and I think Wisher's still sitting on the ground. They're just like, oh, interesting. That's quite the collection you seem to be running off with, friend.
Wisher calls you a C word.
Yeah, I'm like, you know who probably really wants to hear about this is it's Jackabacca that's back over, right? It's like, you know, would be really that of me would be to go tell Jackabacca about this, wouldn't it? He's right over there, right? And I think we just
I think this is the point where Wolf emerges, right?
Yep.
So,
Just like I have the mental image of like Wolf stepping out slowly and with gravitas.
Right. So yeah, I think you probably hear me saying at a somewhat elevated tone. I guess we'll just have to go tell Jackabacca that we found somebody with some interesting pieces of technology. Or like trying to, I feel like I'm trying to essentially I'm trying to convince. I want to figure out what the deal is between him and Bean, right? And so I'm like, is there a way that we can essentially lay pressure on him to figure out?
I mean, the response from Wisher when you're doing this is like is that Jackaback is like an idiot and a fool and just wants to sit here in his own little castle and play king.
You haven't said
but Bean
anything I
has a way
disagree with,
out.
mate.
So, like, it's this same idea, right? It's the same thing of someone has a way out of this whole mess.
Way out. Did he tell you what this way out is?
And he goes to try and get something out of like an inner pocket in his cardigan. No,
How close is Wolf? Like like
yeah,
She's coming over, so yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
you can be
Yeah.
there.
Sure, yeah.
yeah, I feel like I still be like, maybe don't pull anything too quickly out of your pocket, friend. What is this way out?
Um. So I think we can. Wisher starts to talk about like, and he's talking about it in less religious, like more. To him, it's this is a scientific, technological thing.
Mhm.
And he's talking about Uberimus nimbus, which is the people who are from outside of here, who they're the ones that bring the food, and they can get us out. And that as long as we have enough of this, then we can like they will get us out of here.
I think. See, because I think Saf sees this as now is thinking about this as an opportunity that the obviously like the connection that he had that was providing resources is now gone. A new one has to be put together in order for things to move fluidly one way or another.
I think you click that the people who trade food often have the same food, but they're getting it from different places, right?
Mhm.
So like there is definitely a thing of someone is like it's the same food, right? It's not
So there's
like,
some standard thing that's getting distributed.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
but
Mm.
those people are having to travel around a lot to do that.
To do it. Yep. So I guess
So there's some underlying truth in some part of what he's saying.
yeah, and I think what Saf is realizing is that if Bean has some sort of connection to this, if Wisher is under the impression that Bean has a connection to whatever it is that is getting the food, then this may be an opportunity to cut out the middleman or to establish a new one. And so I think Saf looks up and is like, maybe we should go give Bean a visit after all. But I feel like this is where would Wolf have an opinion about whether or not we go see Bean right now?
I mean, Wolf wrecked Bean's setup, right? Like Bean is
Mhm.
not
She has
Bean
no
is no
friend to
longer
be.
operational as a warlord.
So yeah, what Wolf will say as she walks over is just, yeah, Jakabaka just said they'd pay me to get this little stray goat back into the flock, or kill him and take the stuff. But he wants it bad.
It's to me, it's hard for me to not see an opportunity for not see it's hard for me to not see this as a business opportunity. And I think on like forgive the terrible movie pun, but I think that upon the sort of seeing the business opportunity, this is where Saf's eye starts to like flicker and click. You can almost hear it's like, you know how sometimes you have an electronic device and it like makes that buzzing noise like a light or something like that. Like that
Mhm.
is happening. And they're outside and there's this sort of like the wind starts to move a little bit. And as all of this is taking place, it feels kind of subtle, but then in an instant, this is where Saf would open their mind to the the universe to figure out
Yeah, absolutely.
where things might be.
Nice.
Let's see.
Mm.
Wow! Incredible. Okay, that's well, I guess Saf, I think your days are limited. The maestro, the universe seems to be speaking to. It may be time for the order of this particular domain to change. Whew. So yeah, I think if I was opening, is it a similar
What
thing
would
to
you?
ask a question? Um, I would say what should I be on the lookout for? Well, no, because that's a
No, it's not.
question
Yeah,
left from reading a sitch.
Yeah,
so
open
yeah,
your
So
that's
brain
what we
is very
open your
open
brain
ended,
is
but
yeah.
you just kind of say what you
Yeah,
think.
I think what I was trying to figure out is sort of like how to approach Bean, like how to utilize this set of situations um to essentially like muscle my way into a connection. I want to know what this escape is, what this way out is that everybody has been talking about, and I'm hearing all of these different random terms, this sort of religious term. I feel like there's got to be something to hold on to, something to make sense of, but it feels like it might all just like come off as noise.
that's such a like that's such a failure on the opening your brain.
My brain is quite closed. Yeah, maybe
Um,
maybe I'm concussed from the punch I took.
so I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna use so like you have a bunch of MC moves that you use when you're pushing things forwards or when people make bad rolls, and one of them is give them what they want. But I think your eye locks onto that onto the 5 lights above the compound that Bean has. Like you kind of look towards, like you're trying to make this connection. You look towards the compound. Your eye catches on those 5 lights, and then like you try and move your head to like focus on the next thing, and the eye won't look away from it. And then Wolf's voice box starts repeatedly doing um the Morse code just on loop. Wolf, do you do anything about that?
Well, she tries to swear, and maybe it comes through competing with
It cuts in the middle of it, yeah.
yeah,
Yep. Uh
and she just like
and the
switches it off.
lights
Basically, she like hits the kill switch on it.
and the lights move and the lights come towards you. And for Saf, they are just getting in that eye. They're getting so bright, and you're seeing like all in that eye. You're seeing all of this like you can see it with your normal eye, and it's just lights coming towards you. But they're getting much brighter in the weather eye, so to speak. And and the weather eye starts just like reading out huge chunks of like we would recognize it as an audience of being like the heads up display from some kind of like military drone or something. Like you're getting all of this like information about like the readout of like from the lights that is without context useless information to you, but it's like is telling you like the waveband frequency that those lights are communicating on, and like all of their like a whole bunch of like technical specifications for some kind of technology. And eventually, by the time that you are looking directly up at Five Lights, this eye is completely just blinded with white light. And the the four of you are there under five spotlights pointing down in onto the ground. You can hear like a somewhere between the sound of like whirring of drones or like great universal hurdy-gurdies, something between drones and the choir of heaven, right? Is hovering above you, and then two red dots start to train themselves on who's got any active like psyche. It's Wolf and Saf. You don't have any working current psychic tech on you, do you, Lockheed?
Sorry, muted. I don't think so.
Yeah, you just
No.
have your antenna, which is external to you.
Which is over
Yeah.
there. Okay, so
Yeah.
so Saf and Wolf, we see like the red dot, like train on center of mass, and that's where we'll break for 5 minutes while we'll come back
Oh, delightful.
after that.
Ooh, lovely.
Nice.
This went in a strange direction.
Welcome to our
Right.
world.
Back in a few minutes.
Catch ya.